Often when we think about success, we imagine a straight and upward line as if success was this linear path, but success is really not linear. It's really not like that. And I believe that it's important to remind ourselves of that because sometimes when we try to succeed at something and we experience difficulties and we experience stumbles, it can get very frustrating and it can make us confused if we base ourselves off of this linear idea of success. And when you stumble and you experience difficulties, it can make you feel like, oh, I'm not succeeding anymore. But that's not the case. It's really not the case because, like I said, success is not linear. And if you imagine success as a path, it has a bunch of curves, and even if you go over here or maybe you stumble over there, you're still on the path of success. While if you imagine success as this linear path, going to the right or to the left and going a little bit around can make you feel like you're no longer succeeding. Even if you really wanted to follow this straight path to success, during your time, you will learn new things. You will try different things that will make you take curves, will make you maybe stumble once or twice, try something out and figure out that, okay, maybe that was not the right thing to try. Let's try this thing over here. And it makes you readjust. It makes you look at all the options and maybe try one and know, okay, we're going to discard that one. We're going to try this one. This one seems right. Let's let's try this one. And what I'm trying to say is that even if you really want this straight path to success, the path itself cannot remain straight like that. Success in itself involves things that make you curve up the path. It makes the path curvy. I believe that success and adaptability really work hand in hand because it is required of you to be somewhat adaptable when you're trying to succeed at something, because you need to remain open-minded to those new lessons that you will learn, to those things that you will discover that will help you along the way to succeed. And it's important for you to be adaptable, to change your path, to do those curves that are required for you to succeed. And it's also important for you to be in a certain level of acceptance as well, accepting when you encounter difficulties. I believe that it's important for you to be adaptable and accepting of that, because when you're faced with a difficulty, instead of just seeing it as a wall, see it as, yes, an obstacle, but an obstacle that is not impossible to surmount. It's possible to look at the obstacle and figure out the ways that you could deal with it and how you can move forward. You can move past that obstacle. And that's also what I mean. Success in itself has obstacles. It's part of the path. It's part of the success progress. It's really part of it. And it's important, like I said, to be aware of all of that and not let it discourage you so much, so you can expect it and not expect it in a way that will stop you from taking action, but expect it in a way that will make you more aware, and maybe you'll be able to prepare for it. You'll be able to maybe mentally prepare for those obstacles, so that when you get there, you can think, oh, okay, yes, I have prepared for this. So did I have a list of already solutions that I can try? Or okay, let's look at it and let's not get discouraged. Let's work with it. Let's work to fix it, to get past it, and then we'll be able to continue on our path of success. And of course, there are times when you get multiple stumbles right after the other, or it feels like you're getting a lot of difficulties back to back. And it can get very discouraging. I really understand that. I know that I'm saying to not discourage yourself from it, but sometimes, yes, it does get discouraging. your path can twist and turn in a way that is very demanding and energy draining. And yes, sometimes you do feel burnt out. You do feel really exhausted, and it can be very discouraging. And I absolutely understand that. And of course, in that moment, your emotions are really valid, and your perception of it is valid. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't see it as exhausting, because yes, given certain circumstances, sometimes yes, it gets very exhausting. But I do also have a proposition for you that when you feel like you're getting discouraged, try to notice where your attention is. Are you focusing a lot on your stumbles and on your difficulties? And is that why maybe you feel like you're not succeeding anymore? And I believe that it's really important when you experience those difficulties and those stumbles to still, yes, on one hand, acknowledge the fact that you have stumbled and you feel a certain way about it. Absolutely welcome those feelings and identify them and feel them. But also, on the other hand, after you've taken care of that, also acknowledge your successes that surrounded that stumble. Because before you stumbled, most likely you felt very good, you felt like you were succeeding, you were on the right track. And then you stumbled. It made you feel some type of way, which is really fine and valid. But then once you get up from your stumble, you continue on your path and you can feel like, oh, okay, now I feel better. I feel like I'm going back to it. I feel like I'm succeeding again. So when you look at that, you see that it felt like you were succeeding, you stumbled for a little bit, and then you succeeded again. So I believe that it's really important to still acknowledge that yes, it is true that I had a difficulty, and yes, it's true that I stumbled, but let's acknowledge the fact that before and after that stumble, we felt like we were succeeding. We were on the right track. We were doing great things. So what I'm trying to say is that one stumble does not mean that overall everything is ruined. You can never succeed again. After a stumble, yes, it is always possible to get up and to keep going. So please don't give up after one stumble and feel like everything is over. I'm not worthy of succeeding because I stumbled. And the world is not over. Your success is not over. Please acknowledge every part, the stumbles, yes, but also your successes, because we can get very caught up in our heads feeling like we're not succeeding, but please be aware of that. It's also really important to remember that even though you have difficulties and even though you stumble, you are still worthy of success. While you are in your difficulty and while you are stumbling, yes, like I mentioned, you might very much feel a certain way about it, and that is very valid, and it's important to feel those emotions, not run away from them. But it's also important, in my opinion, to keep in mind that you are still worthy of success, though. Even if maybe you tried something and it didn't work out the way you wanted to, the fact that you tried something that didn't amount to anything does not mean that you are not worthy of success anymore. You are still worthy of success, and after you're trying something that maybe didn't work, you are allowed to, okay, then let me back away from that and let me go over here, try something else. Or let me go back on the path where I was earlier and I'll find something else later. And you are still worthy, and you're still worthy of succeeding and of continuing your path, and you still deserve to succeed. You still deserve to get to your end goal, and you still deserve to continue on the path of success. Embrace adaptability and acceptance. Embrace the fact that success is not linear, and see it in a curious way, instead of a way that makes you scared, makes you afraid of, oh no, what if it makes me go over here? I don't know where success will bring me. If it's not a straight path, then where is it going to bring me? What challenges will it bring me? Because it can be very scary to have those thoughts. But try to see it, like I said, with a curious mindset. Try to turn it so that you think, oh, wait, I wonder where it's going to bring me. I wonder all the beautiful things that I will learn, all of the ideas that maybe I would not have had, but they will come up, they will pop up into my head as I'm walking the path, and as I'm going over here, going over there, new ideas will pop up, little challenges that will make you learn things will pop up, and really see it as an opportunity to learn a bunch of things, to try a bunch of things, and to really grow as a person. And like I said, you are deserving of success. You are worthy of success, and you don't need to walk the path perfectly in order to be worthy of success, in order to be deserving of success, or deserving of even walking the path alone. Continue moving on the path. Continue to do your best to deal with situations that arise, and celebrate your successes. Acknowledge your stumbles, but remember to celebrate your successes as well. And remember that you are worthy. You are worthy of walking this path of success. You are worthy of succeeding. You are still deserving of success, even though maybe you stumbled a couple of times and it made you feel some type of way. You are always worthy, and continue to do your best, and just keep in mind that success isn't linear, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. It doesn't mean that you're not capable of it.